The truth is, hard work alone won't make you successful. In fact, if you're working harder than everyone else, you might actually be doing it wrong. Why? Imagine two people running a race. One is sprinting as hard as possible, out of breath, struggling to keep up. The other, they're running effortlessly, gliding forward, barely breaking a sweat. Who wins? The one running smarter. That's what we're talking about today, how to actually outwork everyone the easy way. But here's what you need to know. The people you see winning, they aren't superhuman. They don't have some magical advantage that you don't. The difference between them and you isn't about being born talented or having unlimited discipline. It's about how they approach work. Let's start with a question. Why does it feel so hard to stay disciplined? You tell yourself you'll wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym, read a book, and build a side hustle, only to snooze your alarm and feel guilty all day. Sound familiar? That's not laziness. It's how your brain is wired. And today, I'll show you how to beat that wiring without burning out. Discipline is often portrayed as the ultimate key to success. And it's true, discipline is important. But here's the problem. Relying solely on discipline is like trying to swim upstream. It's exhausting, and eventually, even the most disciplined people burn out. This is why some people seem to work less but achieve more. Think of a chess player. They don't move the most pieces, they move the right pieces. That's how they win. Now imagine a boxer. If they throw 100 punches wildly, they'll tire out. But if they land just one perfect knockout punch, fight over. That's the difference between working hard and working smart. Now, what if you applied that strategy to your own work? That's where your natural strengths come in. Think about it. There are people who spend 10 hours a day gaming without getting tired. Why? Because it plays into their natural abilities. Problem solving, strategy, reaction speed. They don't force themselves to play, they just do. The trick isn't to force discipline onto yourself. The trick is to find what you're naturally inclined to do and then turn that into your advantage. Have you ever done something so effortlessly that people were amazed, but to you, it felt like nothing? That's not luck. That's a sign. It's proof that you have strengths you're not even fully using yet. Most people waste years forcing themselves into work that drains them instead of doubling down on what they're naturally good at. Here's the secret. Success isn't about being good at everything. It's about being great at a few things. The things that come naturally to you. When you focus on your talents, you don't have to force yourself to work hard. Instead, you'll find yourself wanting to work hard because it feels rewarding. Here's something most people don't realize. Your strengths aren't just the things you're good at. They're also the things that energize you. If you're naturally curious, that's a strength. If you enjoy analyzing things deeply, that's a strength. If you're competitive, that's a strength. Even traits that might seem negative can be strengths when applied correctly. If you're stubborn, you might excel in fields that require persistence. If you have anxiety, you might be great at planning and risk management. If you're an introvert, you might thrive in deep work and analytical tasks. The key is to stop trying to force yourself into a mold that doesn't fit and instead lean into what already feels natural. I once read a book that completely changed the way I think about talent. It explained that talent isn't just something you're born with, it's something you can develop by aligning your efforts with your natural strengths. When you do this, you enter a state of flow where work feels less like work and more like play. In this state, you're not just working, you're creating, you're solving problems, you're innovating, and because it feels so natural, you're able to sustain this level of effort for much longer than if you were forcing yourself to do something that doesn't align with your strengths. But here's the thing, talent alone isn't enough. You also need a strategy. You need to design your life in a way that allows you to focus on your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. In school, we're tested on everything, even our weakest subject. But in life, you get to choose which test to take. So instead of forcing yourself to be disciplined in areas where you struggle, ask yourself, what am I naturally good at? What energizes me instead of draining me? How can I use that to get ahead? When you structure your work around your strengths, discipline becomes easy because you're not fighting against yourself. You're working with yourself. Imagine being 5 feet 3 inches in the NBA, a league where players are 6 feet 6 inches or taller. Most people would call it impossible. Muggsy Bogues didn't just survive, he thrived, but not by trying to outjump 7-footers. Instead, he played to his strengths, his speed, agility, and relentless drive. He didn't try to be better at everything. He just just mastered what he was already great at, and that made him unstoppable. Muggsy's story is a powerful reminder that success isn't about being the best at everything. It's about being the best at something. And when you find that something, when you align your efforts with your natural talents, you'll find that outworking everyone isn't about grinding harder, it's about working smarter. So, how do you apply this to your own life? Start by identifying your natural talents. What are the things you do effortlessly? What are the things you enjoy so much that you lose track of time when you're doing them? Once you've identified your talents, look for ways to incorporate them into your work, your hobbies, and your goals. Remember, success isn't about following someone else's path. It's about creating your own. When you align your efforts with your natural strengths, you'll find that outworking everyone isn't just possible, it's easy.